Who's in charge of enforcing this law?
They're crowdsourcing the enforcement. They're allowing people to go to civil means to go after anyone who aids or abets someone seeking an abortion. You can't sue the person getting or seeking the abortion, but you can sue the doctor, you can sue the Uber driver, you can sue anybody who helps pay for it. And when you get to the end, if you're correct and the court decides with you, then the court can order that your lawyer fees are paid and up to $10,000 be paid you basically as a bounty.
Is a fetus a human being? This seems to be the central question. Well, if a fetus is a human being, how come the census doesn't count them? If a fetus is a human being, how come when there's a miscarriage, they don't have a funeral? If a fetus is a human being, how come people say we have 2 children and 1 on the way, instead of saying we have 3 children? People say life begins at conception. I say life began about 1 billion years ago, and it's a continuous process. See, the really hardcore people will tell you life begins at fertilization. Fertilization, when the sperm fertilizes the egg, which is usually a few moments after the man says, gee, honey, I was going to pull out, but the phone rang and it startled me. But even after the egg is fertilized, it's still 6 or 7 days before it reaches the uterus and pregnancy begins. And not every egg makes it that far. 80% of a woman's fertilized eggs are rinsed and flushed out of her body once a month during those delightful few days she has. They wind up on sanitary napkins, and yet they are fertilized eggs. So basically what these anti-abortion people are telling us is that any woman who's had more than 1 period is a serial killer. Consistency. Hey, if they really want to get serious, what about all the sperm that are wasted when the state executes a condemned man? When John Cardinal O'Connor of New York and some of these other cardinals and bishops have experienced their first pregnancies and their first labor pains, and they've raised a couple of children on minimum wage, then I'll be glad to hear what they have to say about abortion. Now, you know where the Sanctity of Life came from? We made it up. You know why? Because we're alive. Self-interest. If everything that ever lived is dead, and everything alive is going to die, where does the sacred part come in? And you might have noticed something else. The sanctity of life doesn't seem to apply to cancer cells, does it? You rarely see a bumper sticker that says, save the tumors.
president support abortion when his own Catholic faith teaches abortion is morally wrong? Who does he believe then should look out for the unborn child?
I know you've never faced those choices, nor have you ever been pregnant, but for women out there who have faced those choices, this is an incredibly difficult thing. The president believes their rights should be respected.